This is just the beginning. She tore a hole in space. There's a different reality leading into ours.
What are you prepared to do?
I'm invincible.
Your powers only make me stronger.
So you can't be matched. Can't be controlled. I'm asking for one last fight.
Aloha! It's Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews and unfortunately the latest movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad, your Islandman, back from vacation, still trying to get used to my new work schedule. And, well, you know, while I was on vacation, what dropped? But, of course, the Marvels, the latest MCU movies that has come out. And without, you know, any further ado, also the lowest Marvel box office ever. I think, worldwide, it still has yet to reach, after almost 3 weeks in the theater, over 200 million worldwide. Yeah, so that's pretty low overall. Well, remember our rating scale, shock a thumbs up. It's good to see, I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down, it's junk, I don't recommend it. And well, for the Marvels, with Brie Larson, you know, the gal that plays Kamala on the TV show of Disney Plus, The Marvels. And, you know, the Monica Rambo character from the Scarlet Witch Disney Plus show. It is overall, surprisingly, a shock a thumbs up. Now, once I say that, let me caveat that it is a weak shock a thumbs up. My problems with this movie is a little bit of the story placement and the fact that it is way too kidsy. Let me just say that there is a better movie in this movie than what we get on screen. There is a darker tale to be told, a more serious tale to be told, that is only revealed somewhat briefly and very unfortunately slowly throughout this 1 hour, 45-minute runtime of this Marvel movie, The Marvels, with Captain Marvel returning, but, you know, as part of a team with Kamala from the Disney Plus Miss Marvel show, and Monica Rambeau becoming what she will be told as in the future, most likely Photon, although she is not called that yet in this movie. So I think if they had kept out the Kamala character and the whole relationship to her bracelet, the Miss Marvel bracelet, I think the show would have done a lot better. It would have been a little bit more darker, more serious. Now, that's not to say that it is as bad and as stupid as Thor: Love and Thunder. It's still a better movie than that. It's just that I think Thor, Chris Hemsworth, is a more powerful draw. People were excited to see him, especially after what we had seen in Infinity War and Endgame, not to mention, you know, what we had seen during Thor Ragnarok with the return of Taika Waititi directing, and people were terribly let down by that. You know, and then another letdown with the Eternals, which had severe story issues with it, which the Marvels also suffer from. Again, just in the fact that if they had moved a few scenes around, you know, maybe opened up with what would be the third act start of this movie, where we are revealed, this will have some spoilers since this has been out for so long. Apparently, when at the end of Captain Marvel Part 1, the first movie with Brie Larson, what we did not see is that she went back to Hala, the homeworld of the Kree, and destroyed the Supreme Intelligence. Now, everything that I had heard and the destruction of the planet seemed like she had laid waste to that planet in revenge for what the Kree did to her, basically, you know, keeping her kidnapped from her life, you know, as a human being, making her think she was Kree and getting her involved in this war, killing innocent Skrulls. Now, what is actually revealed in the movie is that she just destroyed the Supreme Intelligence, and with that planet's governing body taken out, there was a civil war on the planet that ended up causing, you know, environmental damage and repercussions to the planet itself. So almost that its own people, the Kree, you know, through their own infighting for resources, squandered and destroyed the rest of the planet, far more than what Captain Marvel had done, although she is blamed for it. And, you know, the new Rohnan the Accuser, this chick that looks a lot like, you know, that Game of Thrones chick, you know, from, that we had got from Secret Invasion, almost, you know, very similar in the face. And I guess, you know, I'm trying to reach in here just to try to tie Secret Invasion together with this show, because that was the last we'd seen of the Kree until this movie came out. But it really doesn't play anything into the Marvels, unfortunately, which, again, it could have. Apparently, the Skrulls had a great planet, which is, again, destroyed in this movie by the Kree and this new Rohnan the Accuser chick. That looks like Amelia Clark, basically. That you know, all the Skrulls on the Earth from Secret Invasion could have lived on somewhat happily, I think, because, you know, it was at least now up until it was destroyed. But let's not get into that, because, again, Secret Invasion went nowhere, and it doesn't really tie or play into this movie at all any further than that. But even, you know, so these Skrulls are basically the new Rohnan the Accuser. Hala, the Kree's home planet, is destroyed thanks to, they're blaming Captain Marvel at the end of the first movie for that. And so she gets one of the bangles that Miss Marvel has, supercharges it so much more than what we've seen Kamala Khan do in the TV show, so that she can open up jump gates, basically lands on a planet, steals their atmosphere, channeling it from their planet into Hala, so that they can have an oxygen again, destroys one planet during the Skrulls planet doing this, goes to this water world planet where apparently Captain Marvel is the princess of this planet. Even with her there, the other two, you know, Kamala Khan and Monica, there to help her, and the army of the planet itself, they are no match for the Kree and this new Rohnan the Accuser chick. And they steal the water, but it doesn't look like they steal all the water. So that planet's okay. You know, was there any reason, I mean, other than simple revenge, that they couldn't just have taken a little bit or half of the atmosphere from the Skrull planet? I guess other than she was pissed at Captain Marvel and she's really going to stick it to her by destroying these other planets under her protection. That's the gist of it. So again, story, plot failings. But again, you know, a darker movie could have been told if they had opened up with Captain Marvel and actually shown her destroying Hala, forcing the Kree into being just basically refugees like the Skrulls are now, that would have better cemented this new Rohnan the Accuser and what she was doing in getting revenge, and then also shown more of a dynamic with Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's character, of why she's got this inner angst and never wants to come back to Earth, basically, is because she blames herself for killing thousands of people, millions of Kree, innocent Kree, despite what they did to her, at the end of Captain Marvel Part 1. So there could have been a stronger, like I said, darker, more serious movie that could have been dealt with in these issues. Again, very common, what we saw in Thor Ragnarok, a little too much jokey, keeping Kamala Khan front and center, to be light and joke and try to get that youth audience, I guess 16 and up, or maybe 13 and up with her, which unfortunately just doesn't work. It does have some good chuckles if you enjoyed the show, but then you will love the Marvels. If you loved Miss Marvel on Disney+. I didn't watch Miss Marvel because it is too kidsy. It's a kid's show on Disney+, and so I didn't watch it. And neither did a lot of the people that I know, because they're adults. They kind of skipped it on Disney+. And it didn't really play into anything other than set up for this movie, which, you don't really need, but it would have helped you. And so I think because people didn't put the time in or care enough to watch Miss Marvel, to have her be a major character in this movie, just kind of people went blah and didn't want to see it. It's like, well, I don't really care about Kamala Khan, and I don't really, care too much about Monica Rambeau, and they do very little to see how she comes into her powers from the Scarlet Witch show, which we had only seen her develop those powers right there and then, crossing through that witch barrier that Wanda had put up, around the town. But apparently she's got she can fly now, she's mastered being able to phase through solid objects, etc., fire energy blasts. So, and it didn't really go into too much explanation with that character either, which again is another weakness. It's like, so the audience, it's like, we got one character we don't care about, Kamala Khan. We have another character we don't know anything about, and just all of a sudden she hits the ground running in the show. It's like, well, who's that? Who's, if you didn't see Wanda at all, and even then she didn't have a big power set or much play in that TV show. It was WandaVision and not Monica Rambeau Vision for the show. So you might not remember her, or especially not as you see her in this show. And, so Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, which you might be excited to see from the first Captain Marvel, from Infinity War's end credit scene and, Endgame, is that she's powerful enough to fight Thanos. If they had kept all eyes on her and really driven her story with the side stories of, Kamala and all that stuff, or even just Brie Larson's Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau's, Photon character, and kept Kamala out of it, I think it would have been a stronger show. Less kidsy, more serious, which I think would have motivated, the people in this, more of an audience to go see this movie and get a higher box office. At least maybe into the 80 millions, if not 100 million, for an opening weekend, instead of the 40 which it got. Other than that, last scene sets up the X-Men, and again, incursions, kind of quasi what we'd seen in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. There's a breach that opens up between dimensions. Monica fusion goes, or photon goes through and is trapped there, and we see the person that plays her mother, you know, the senior Rambo, being binary from the X-Men / what Captain Marvel would become in the comics eventually. And we see the Beast, you know, Kelsey Grammer's Beast in this show at the end, saying that they're in a new world, a new dimension, and thus this will set up the X-Men. So if anybody had seen Miss Marvel, what was that connection with her mutant gene and the X-Men when she gets all her powers from the bracelet, but apparently she's a mutant of some type, which was revealed in the last episode of the show. You know, it's just too, you know, thrown together to make any logical sense, and I think the audience for Marvel is like, it's like, wait a minute, so she's not a mutant, or is she a mutant? And then how's these mutants, if she is a mutant, if Miss Marvel's a mutant and not, you know, just getting from this magic bracelet apparently, which turns out to be a Kree artifact. I had thought originally it was somehow connected to like Simu Lee's, Shang-Chi's rings, you know, the 10 rings kind of thing, but apparently not. You know, but again, why is she got to be a mutant? Why is she, you know, why was this teased at the end of that when the mutants won't even come from our own reality, but apparently be from this new reality, this alternate dimension that will likely come in at some point in Secret Wars or so. Who knows? Or maybe Monica Rambo, you know, Photon will breach once again the dimensions. Perhaps Doctor Strange Part 2, there'll be another teasing, and the X-Men will bleed into this one. Some people are thinking it's going to happen from Deadpool 3, which, you know, right now anybody's guess is as good as anybody else's, because, you know, Marvel doesn't seem to know what it's doing, which is unfortunate, and we certainly don't know anymore. But again, overall, not bad, but not great for, you know, the Marvels. You know, I mean, it's worth a watch, especially if you do like it for kidsy kind of action. You know, if you enjoyed Miss Marvel, if your kids liked Miss Marvel, the Disney Plus show, then they'll enjoy the Marvels overall. If you're looking for more serious fare, such as, you know, Winter Soldier, and Infinity War and Endgame, you're not finding it in Marvel right now, which is very, very disappointing. I mean, you're not even getting a more serious kind of a note, darker note, that we had gotten in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. They couldn't continue that, which would have fed directly into this. Who knows? All right. But again, overall, a weak shock of thumbs up for the Marvels. It'll be streaming here soon enough, so you can just wait for that. But, you know, if you're a big fan, I'd say watch this over Eternals or Thor Love and Thunder for sure. All right. Mahalo and aloha.